Hello everybody. Whoops, I don't want that on. I'm going to turn my computer on and hopefully maybe see some comments. We will see. Hello Catherine, how are you? All right. Oh my gosh. Can you believe it's what, today's the 12 days until Christmas, is that right? Today's the 13th, add 12, it's 25. Oh my gosh. Thanks, Catherine, I appreciate that. And I think, oh, while I have got my computer up, I'm going to see if I can do something here to grab some followers. Oh. Yeah, I'm doing good, Catherine. I'm really trying to focus on getting some Christmas presents made, like personal ones, right? So I wish I could show you what I made my daughters. It turned out, they turned out so beautiful, but with my luck, the daughter that helps me, well, they both help. I have the one that ships, but then I have Mio, the other one, that will help me with like my Pinterest and all that. And she'll come on my Facebook page to grab pictures and videos and things like that she can post. And I don't want her to see what I made her. So I'm gonna have to take pictures and post them after Christmas because they turned out so pretty. So today I am working on another Christmas present. This one's going to be for my in-laws. And actually it's gonna be a clock. All of a sudden, and once I got done with the clock that I did for myself, I thought, you know what? It might be, I already know my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, they need a new clock for their office because that's where Mr. Pixie and I stay. They've got a bed in there for us. And when we were there for Thanksgiving, they told us their clock broke, which actually is okay because it was a clock that had birds on it, and if they turned it on, they like chirped or whatever, so of course we could never have that on when we were sleeping. And it was one of those clocks that make a lot of noise that tick, 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 right? Kind of drive you crazy when trying to go to sleep. So anyway, I am going to make them a new clock. They are huge St. Louis Cardinal fans. And I ordered a whole bunch of wood cardinals from Lindy Tater Buggin, that I plan to make this a cardinal clock. I'm going to be using 2 of the kits, and one I am going to attempt to paint like, because I get nervous on these lives, but I can always, start it. But I'll attempt to paint one to look like a male and the other one to look like a female, because as we know, cardinals mate for life, and my in-laws have been married for 67 or 68 years now. Isn't that fantastic? Yeah, I wish I would have met Mr. Pixie sooner so I could say we'd probably be married that long, but we would have to be married another 40-some years, and that would put me over 100 years old. So I don't see that happening. Anyway, so I am going to show you how I'm going to paint the base. Hello, Teresa. Just going to give you an idea. I do have one finished because I'm also going to be using our transfer, Winter Haven transfer that has cardinals, the birch trees and cardinals, and I think it's going to be really pretty. And you've heard me say the best thing to do is let your paint dry overnight, or at least several hours before you add a transfer. In this case, I painted yesterday. I did not seal it, and I shouldn't have to. I know a lot of people will put force field or meltdown first, but usually I think it's because they had just painted it, and that will help the transfer adhere. I'm not going to do that myself. I've never had an issue. So to just kind of get us started, let me grab, my little trays that I love. I think you can see everything just fine. I am going to be using French macaron and Oreo cookie dough to start with. And Oreo cookie dough, in case you didn't know, is actually a really super light gray. It's my lightest gray. And just in case you're wondering, why would you name something that is like black and white Oreo cookie dough? It's because I was thinking of like the Oreo cookie dough blizzard that you can get at Dairy Queen, right? When they blend it, it's kind of a gray color, right? Because now you're mixing the cookie with the filling, and it almost looks like a light gray. At least in my mind it is. So we're going to do that. We're going to start with French macaron and Oreo cookie dough. French macaron is like a French blue. It has gray undertones. So I kind of want to, being that we're going to be using the birch trees, I want to kind of give it an outdoorsy kind of vibe on the background. So I am going, this time I am not, you see me a lot, you know what, I'm going to get rid of these comments because I can read you on my computer. So a lot of times you see me squirting right on my surface. I'm not going to do that this time. I am going to be putting these side by side on the little tray here. Next, I'm going to be using our Stipley, or as Laura Louise calls it, Mr. Stipley. I wish if, you know what, I'm not going to rename it after all this time, but I almost wish I would have called him Mr. Stipley because he's so cute. I just like how she nicknamed him Mr. Stipley. So we're going to do a stipple effect. A lot of you've been following me for a while. You know what this might look like. Hello, Marilyn and Tammy and Terry Joe. Thank you for sprinkling. I appreciate it. Teresa Cherry. Oh, Teresa, I don't know if you received, I sent everyone's packages out earlier this week. You probably haven't received them yet. The ones that you won last time, right? All right, so what I want to do, like I said, side by side, I'm just going to dab him in here just like that. And we're going to start stippling kind of in a circle. And you see, I did not even base, you could base coat this one of the same colors, like let's say you could base coat it in Oreo cookie dough or French macaron. You could even use a different color altogether. I am not doing that because by the time I'm done, this is going to have plenty of coats. And a lot of times why you would do that is so that you don't see the white, the undercolor. But like I said, in this case, it'll be more about going back and forth between the colors. Now I'm only going to take it to the edge like this. I might end up, like right now, I'm looking at this thinking, you know what, maybe I want a little more Oreo cookie dough. So while my paint's still wet, I don't want to do this if my paint dry. If my paint has dried, I'm going to start all over again. You know, just recoating the top. But since my paint's still wet, I can go right in with the Oreo cookie dough and lighten this up a little more. I don't want it, I want it almost looks like a cloudy day, right? Terry Joe, these are beautiful colors. This French macaron I know is a favorite of many of my affiliates. I've always loved this this French blue color. I call it French blue. All right, so hold on. I'm going to grab, shoot, I forgot to bring a damp rag. But I may not, oh, heck. Hold on. Let me grab, I have these big, fat wipes. They're called crocodile wipes. And I'm going to wrap it. I'm going to keep that damp because, first of all, it's just in case I need to go back and work the edge a little bit. All right. The next set of colors I'm going to be using, Blackberry Cobbler and figgy pudding. You know, and paint will separate, so I do shake it. Paint will separate if you're not using it, you know, all the time. If you're using it daily, it may not. Hey, Sarah, I'm making a clock. You've been experimenting with pixie dough in the molds. Oh, I hope you're having fun. Again, side by side. Now, this time, that's our flat top. You've seen me use this for stenciling, right? And also kind of doing this. I'm going to be doing the same technique. Loading both sides. Now, this time though, I want to keep my blackberry cobbler more on the edge. So that kind of stays one color. But you can see I'm coming back down into my middle. When you mix these two colors together, they're absolutely gorgeous. So I just want to kind of give it the illusion now that maybe it's starting to become a night sky, but I don't want to do the pinks and all that. I just want to kind of give it that, kind of that darkness. And again, you know, I'm trying to keep blackberry cobbler on one side of my brush, figgy pudding on the other, but keeping the blackberry cobbler on the edge. Okay, let me keep working this. And actually the round that I already did yesterday is a little bit bigger. This is, I think, an 8 or 9 inch round, and I'm going to be using a 10 inch. Just something a little bigger, but it's still the same technique, no matter what size you're using. Make sure. Whoops. Must have forgotten to grab my figgy pudding. Let me make sure I grab my blackberry cobbler. There we go. And you saw I did not let the middle dry before I did this, because I may want to come back and just soften it a little bit. So, whoops, I did that one the opposite, which is still pretty. All right. So now, this is where I may come back in with stippling. Just work him back into that edge a little bit. If you feel your edge is maybe needs to be softened, maybe it's too hard or whatever, you can see, and just by tapping lightly, right? So that gives you the idea. Now I'm going to grab my one that I did yesterday. So now I'm going to put these in water. I don't need them anymore. And it's up to you to decide how much you want to work when you're stippling and doing these modeled looks. One thing, you know, you have to be very careful. If you overwork it, you will end up with one color. So it's really important that you don't overwork it. You just tap, tap, tap with your eye. Make sure you still see the colors, but it's almost like it's making a third or fourth color, but not one. If you keep, like I said, if you overwork it, you'll end up with one color. All right, let me put this aside. I'll show you the one I did yesterday. That's the one I did yesterday, right? Very similar. Now, this is going to be my middle. I won't need that. Let me see. I will end up gluing this on, okay? So I really don't need to base coat the entire middle of this, but I want to make sure I get enough. So I'm just going to lightly draw this with a pencil, just to give me an idea that I need to come into this a little bit. We'll set that aside for a second. All right, now, this I'm going to do solid. And I'm thinking because this is such a light colored wood, I think I'm going to go ahead and do a quick base coat with blackberry cobbler, because afterwards I'm going to do Starry Night on top, which is our deep blue metallic. It's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, you know what? In this, I can work here a little bit. I'll just kind of get me started. Oh, I'll need more than that. I don't know what I was thinking there. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. There. Get a coat of this on. And I think that'll be really pretty around the edge, because I'm thinking my numbers, I may do is start off with silver, maybe doing a silver, even though I love gold. I'll start off with silver, but they may end up being gold because I love gold against this deep color. Only thing I don't like with these wood rounds, I don't like the raw edges, and I was thinking I might want to take some bling wrap, just one row of it, and wrap it around the edge. And I've got both gold and silver. I had even a thought that I could glue the bling on and paint it Starry Night, just so it's not real noticeable. We'll see. Maybe I just want it to look like a textured edge, right? Not really the bling, because I kind of wanted this to blend in. Okay. And these, just so you know, I got these 14-inch rounds at Hobby Lobby about a week or so ago. My husband and I went to a nearby town called Prescott, and it's about 45 minutes away, and they have a Hobby Lobby there. And when he had asked me, actually it was last Friday, he's like, do you want to go to Prescott? And I'm like, yes, but only if I can stop at Hobby Lobby. I didn't know what I was looking for at the time. It wasn't this. But of course, while you're in there, you've got to look. And when I found these 14-inch wood rounds, they were in a package of 3. I think they're $17.99. They weren't on sale, but I don't have the, what's the word I'm looking for? The, oh shoot, what's that word I'm looking for, Josie? Anyway, gosh, now it's going to bug me. I have to buy it when I'm there, right? I don't have like the convenience, you know, to be able to just hop in my car, drive a little ways, you know, once, if it's not on sale, it's not on sale. I just have to buy it when I can. That's what I'm thinking. I've got so much of that, Teresa, the bling. I'm thinking I might just glue it onto the edges and then just paint it. That way it's not so much, it doesn't stand out, because I'm not, you know, with the cardinals and all that, it really doesn't call for bling per se. I mean, it's not that I couldn't do it, because I love bling. But my vision is, I think I just want more of a texture. All right, we're almost done with this edge. And then I'm going to dry it real quick, and we'll get the Starry Night on. And then we can start working on the cardinals Because if you're just joining us, this is going to be a cardinal. Oh, I should have tagged Lindy. Somebody wants to tag Tater Buggin. I was, because I'm using Lindy's cardinals, her cardinal kit. All right, I'm going to dry this, and then we're going to use Starry Night. Hey, Recycled Charm. Cindy, how are you? Marilyn, I could easily use your senior discount. I didn't know they had that. I did not even know that. Thank you, Catherine, for letting me know. I didn't know we had senior discounts. Now I do. Yeah, actually, while I was there, what else did I buy? Oh, I bought garland for above my entertainment center because it was there, right? We need Christmas garland, and that was half off. And then the wood browns. I think that was it. And the truth is, I can't even remember why I went in there. That funny walkout. I'm sure whatever it is, I didn't find what I wanted, but I was happy for the garlands. Now, see how my memory goes? No, I was happy to find the garlands. I was looking for like some berry sprigs and all that, and I saw they were there. I'm like, God, it seemed like they were expensive, and they probably were on sale, but you know, I had Mr. Pixie with me, so I was rushing. Shantae, how are you today? All right. It's almost dry enough for me to go over it with Starry Night. You know how... Did I get it in there? Got a little bit. All right. Okay, let's see. I think that's good enough for me to use my Starry Night. I was going to just kind of put those aside, but I guess not. All right. And you know what? I'm just going to use the same brush. I'm going to just wipe off the blackberry cobbler. And the reason I want to do that, right, because it's chalk paint. And it could end up making my Starry Night look dull. So maybe in that case, you know what? I think I better use a clean brush because I don't want it to look dull at all. All right, so I got a clean brush here. Whoops. Alrighty, let's try this again. Thank you, Teresa, I appreciate that. Thank you, Catherine, I saw you tagged Lindy. You know, if they're not on Facebook, they won't see it, but maybe she'll watch the replay or whatever. I know tonight is the art wellness group that Lindy and Lisa created, and I do belong to it. I haven't done anything in there yet, but watch. But I think it's at, why do I think, what time, I don't know, maybe it has started. I don't even know. Maybe it has started, the group. I think Lisa's teaching tonight. And I can never remember if it's at 5:30 like Mountain Standard Time, my time, or 5 or 7, which would be 7:30 Lisa's time. I'm always thinking it's in the evening because it's always a little more difficult for me to join in and do something while they're doing it because it's about the time we're getting ready to have dinner. going to worry about painting my edge of this right now, because this, you know, I probably will end up putting some bling on the edge and then painting it. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. Right, we want to get this done. That's going to be really pretty. Oh, that's going to look really pretty. Let me just dry it because I'm anxious to see it. Hello, Teresa K. Enderhill. How are you? Hi, Patty. Oh, so Patty, it's at 7 Eastern, which is 5, okay, in a half an hour. So I understand if some of you will have to jump off to go watch. I try so hard. I don't plan a time for my lives, you know, that are very sporadic. But on the days that I do, I try to watch and make sure Lisa and Lindy aren't live, and I'm, you know, I don't want to be going live the same time they are, because I know everyone's going to be over there watching. There's nothing worse than being here all by yourself. If you do not own Starry Night, you need to. I'm just saying. It is such a beautiful, deep, deep blue metallic. It's gorgeous. It's almost dry, and it does dry quickly, actually. Metallics normally do. I know, right? Your favorite is, hi Jody, hi Stacy. I know, Catherine, you said Starry Night's your favorite, right? You know what's funny is, this is a color I was offered from day one that I got my paint made. And I don't know why I passed it up. And then last year, I think in October, I decided to bring it out as a seasonal color, but if it did well, I would keep it in my line. And it did so well. All of them did. And unfortunately, we can't get Enchanted Forest. I don't even know when or if that will be made available. All right. So, there's a drawback to painting on raw wood. So the drawback to painting on raw wood is it raises the grain. And I have this sanding sponge that is really worn out. I'm going to see if maybe I can sand this a little bit, because I can feel that. And it probably is going to need another coat. But I can feel how much softer it is right now. You know, maybe had I primed it first, I don't know. I don't know if that would have helped or not. But I do want it smooth, right? I don't want to feel that grainy. All right. Just kind of take any dust off. There we go. And it will need another coat. Because when I sanded it, right, I sanded it